this week's Foundation Friday. I am joined today by Jen Stick, Documentation Manager at Falcon Bank Equipment Finance. Thanks for joining me, Jen.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
No, it's good to see your face, even though I was just with you last week. So twice in less than 7 days is fantastic. And while we were on site in St. Cloud, you mentioned the INDY Foundation, and I'm like, want to see if you can kind of share that with this audience here. So, Jen, do you mind just kind of talking about the INDY Foundation and what's the mission of the charity?
Yeah. So INDY, it stands for I'm Not Done Yet. They provide financial and faith-driven support to children and adults in the midst of their cancer battles. The founder, Kayla Keenan, she started this in 2017, shortly after losing her husband, Kyle, to colon cancer at the age of 34. During his battle, he coined the phrase, I'm not done yet. And since his passing, Kayla and her tribe of warriors have been spreading their message to all of Minnesota. It's been a really great foundation to be part of.
Yeah, when you were kind of telling me that story, and then, obviously based on what I know that you've gone through, I could definitely see where that hits home. And so is this just a Minnesota support group? Is it national, or?
They do keep their dollars within Minnesota.
Okay.
So anything that stays in the state of Minnesota. Yep.
Okay. And then I guess for people who might not be familiar with your story, how did you get involved with INDY, Jen?
So I was diagnosed with breast cancer in December of 2021. I was first introduced to INDY a few months later in February of 2022. Someone had nominated me for a campaign that they had going on, and I was one of 30 recipients to receive a check in the mail for $100 from them. And that's just to help with,
Sure.
groceries or gas, anything that we needed to use it for. And so once I got that check in the mail, I was like, I don't know that I've ever really known who these people were. So I went on their website and just started reading the story of how this foundation was founded. And it's just, ever since then, it's been so near and dear to my heart.
Sure. Yeah, I can only imagine that, kind of like, what is going on here? And then when you can be in the same room with people who are going through or have gone through something, as traumatic as what you went through, and can't imagine what that does to your spirit.
Yes, and I'm now on I'm done with my treatments. Everything is all well, and my passion right now is to be able to give back to other cancer warriors, and this is a great foundation to be able to do that through. Everything aligns. My priorities align with what their priorities are, and just the mission. I just absolutely love everything they stand for.
No, perfect. When people make donations, where does to the foundation, Jen, where do those dollars go?
They have several different events that they do throughout the year.
Okay.
So we recently just ended a consignment event. This is the first time they've done this. There was over 250 people at this event, and they partnered with a local boutique. And then they had other vendors there of women who, different services and stuff. So you could shop while you were there, but they did a fashion show with the boutique. And then at the end of the night, they did bras for the cause, it's called. So they had these men come up on stage with these bras that they created with their wives or whatever, and then we bid on them, but there was a basket that came with each one that we were actually bidding on the back guy. But that part of the night ended up raising almost $7,000
Wow.
just between that. And then it was a beautiful event. I spoke at that event, shared my story. And there was just a lot of great things with that event that I think we'll continue to do that going forward. Another big fundraiser they have is called the Bow Ties and Arrows Gala, and that they do in March of every year. So that's coming up on the 25th of March. And that is their biggest fundraiser of the year that they have. And they do, our goal this year is $160,000 to raise. And it's just that I went last year, and it's a black tie event. But they have games, they have speakers, they have food, they have entertainment, and everything that everything collected that night goes into the foundation to help other cancer patients.
That's awesome. So we'll have to make sure that we get that hyperlink to the website that talks about that gala, so we can try to get some funds in over the next few weeks to support that.
That would be awesome. Yeah, and then they have an INDY birthday party, and they do that in August. That event is a family-friendly event with games and silent. So it's a nice event to bring the family. This foundation was founded in August of 2017, and so they do the INDY birthday party every year in August. And that's another way that they can raise money for the foundation.
Oh.
Those are a few of the ways that they raise money for this foundation.
Perfect.
Outside of their donors, things like that.
And when people in our industry are watching this interview, what can they do? Besides obviously go to the hyperlink, make a donation, let's raise some additional funds for INDY. Outside of the money part of this, what else can people do, Jen, to help make a difference and support people that are going through these, times?
I think that sharing this link will get the message out there for other people who may, and I know this is only Minnesota based, but I think it's so important to know that cancer patients are not alone, and that there's foundations like this out there where people can find assistance, whether it's financially or spiritually, being around those other people that are going through the same things they are. I think just word of mouth of getting the foundation name out there.
Sure.
If they can't donate, monetarily, that would be a huge help, would be to just get the word out about the foundation and how much it helps other cancer patients. I did want to, so they use the money that they receive in different ways. They have a monthly warrior. So every month they highlight 2 Minnesota warriors. They have a little INDY warrior and one INDY warrior, which is 18 and over. And they provide that warrior with their family with INDY gear, $1,000 check, and they highlight the journey of that cancer patient through video or through if they just want to write something to have it published on the website, they can do that too. So one of the big things that they do, they have an emergency fund where it allows cancer warriors to request a gas or grocery gift card to help them during their cancer journey. They have a backpack program. So Kayla's late husband, Kyle, always had a bag of his favorite things to take with him to treatment and appointments. So that gave them the idea of spreading the love to other people by creating these backpacks, and they keep that locally I think, that goes all the way down to the mail. Our Central Minnesota at CentraCare, they go as far as Bemidji to deliver these warrior packs for cancer patients. So, and then at Christmas time, they do a 30 Days Comfort and Joy campaign where they surprise 6 families with a check for $1,250 just to give them a little hope during the holidays. So those are just a few things that they do to use the money that they raise for this foundation.
Perfect. Well, thank you for explaining that. And, it's the amount of work that you're doing, and that you mentioned, was it Kayla? That she's done to start this that's remarkable.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And it when her husband was, near passing, this is something that they talked about, and this is her way of having a legacy live on through him. And his fear was that he would be forgotten, and so this is founded on him. He's the very first warrior, and it's just, their story is so beautiful, how they got through every 5 years of fighting this battle. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but it's provided so much hope for other people. What she's doing with this foundation, it's really amazing how much this has affected the community and helping other people.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing your story and a little bit more about the INDY Foundation. I will drop some hyperlinks at the end of this to not only the foundation, but the upcoming gala that you're doing. And then let's touch base over the next couple of weeks to see what EFC can do to support the gala too, Jen.
Okay, that would be awesome. Okay. Thanks, Jen.
No, it's always good seeing you, and I appreciate your time today, Jen. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Take care.